Sweden. In the world of coin collecting, a simple penny can turn into an extraordinary treasure. Among Canadian coins, one piece stands out for its rarity and astonishing value, the elusive 1987 Canadian 1-cent coin, a piece shrouded in mystery and collector obsession. Its story isn't just about age or appearance, but an unusual twist of history and production that transformed an ordinary coin into a multimillion-dollar artifact. Back in 1987, the Royal Canadian Mint produced millions of 1-cent coins for circulation. Most were struck in bronze-plated zinc, a shift from the traditional bronze planchets used in earlier years. But deep within the records of the mint, whispers spoke of a few 1987 pennies that were struck on leftover 1986 bronze planchets, creating a remarkable error coin that would capture the imagination of collectors decades later. For years, these rare error coins remained undetected, blending in among the countless coppery cents jingling in the pockets of Canadians. It wasn't until a sharp-eyed numismatist noticed the subtle weight difference and color tone in a batch of 1987 pennies that the first of these anomalies came to light. The 1987 bronze planchet penny was slightly heavier and bore a richer hue than its zinc counterparts. Numismatists quickly realized they were dealing with a significant minting error, one that should never have happened. A few leftover bronze planchets from 1986 somehow slipped through the production process in 1987, resulting in a minuscule number of these transitional error coins. Because of their accidental nature and the mint's strict quality control, the exact number of surviving pieces remains unknown, but experts estimate fewer than 5 exist today. What makes this coin truly special isn't just its rarity, but its story. It represents a fleeting overlap in technology and process, a moment where human oversight in a modern mint gave birth to one of Canada's greatest numismatic legends. Every coin collector dreams of stumbling across one of these rare errors in their loose change, though the odds are virtually non-existent. Authentication is essential for these coins. The weight difference is subtle, around 3.24 grams for the bronze planchet compared to 2.5 grams for the standard zinc. Collectors also examine color, sound when dropped, and advanced metallurgical tests to confirm a genuine 1987 bronze penny. Owning one of these coins isn't just about the monetary value, it's about possessing a tangible piece of minting history. In terms of value, this coin defies expectation. In 2021, a verified 1987 bronze 1-cent Canada coin went under the hammer for a staggering $2.18 million. It became not just the most valuable Canadian penny ever sold but one of the most expensive error coins in North America. Its value is driven by extreme rarity, historical significance, and the insatiable appetite of elite collectors willing to pay fortunes for singular treasures. Even damaged or worn specimens would command six-figure prices, but mint-condition examples like the one sold for $2.18 million are practically priceless. It stands as a reminder that sometimes, even the humblest objects can hold unimaginable worth. To this day, the legend of the 1987 Canadian bronze penny continues to grow. Collectors regularly sort through old jars of change and estate coin collections hoping for that one-in-a-billion discovery. The story captures the romantic side of numismatics, the idea that history, luck, and mystery can converge in a single copper disc. This remarkable coin reminds us that value isn't always about material or face value. Sometimes it's about rarity, error, and the strange turns of fate that make an everyday object into a multimillion-dollar artifact. In the world of coin collecting, some stories sound almost too unbelievable to be true. One such story revolves around a tiny, copper coin from Canada, the elusive 1984 1-cent piece. At first glance, it appears like any other penny, with Queen Elizabeth II's profile on one side and the iconic maple leaf twig on the other. But hidden within certain rare editions of this coin is a detail so small that it escaped notice for years. The 1984 Canadian 1-cent coin was part of a regular minting run by the Royal Canadian Mint, struck in large numbers for everyday circulation. Millions were produced using the standard dies, with most made of copper-plated zinc. But in the midst of this production, a rare die variety occurred, giving birth to what would become one of the most valuable modern Canadian coins ever discovered. What makes this particular coin remarkable is a tiny, almost invisible error on the Queen's portrait. It's known among numismatists as the asterisk, double die obverse. This means the image of the queen's bust was struck twice by the die, creating a faint but distinct doubling effect around certain details of her profile, especially visible around the lips, chin, and neckline. Such doubling errors can happen when a coin die shifts slightly between strikes or during the preparation process. While many countries have produced double die coins, very few modern Canadian cents are known to feature this type of mistake. The 1984 double die obverse is exceptionally scarce, making it a legendary find for collectors and historians alike. For years, this error went unnoticed, with coins passing through pockets and cash registers without a second glance. It wasn't until keen-eyed collectors began spotting the anomaly under magnification that its rarity was realized. Only a handful of these coins have ever been officially authenticated, making them among the rarest Canadian pennies in existence. The excitement around this particular variety skyrocketed in the numismatic community when one surfaced at a major coin auction. Collectors from around the world competed fiercely to claim it, aware of its historical importance and incredible scarcity. Its discovery reignited interest in Canadian coin errors and highlighted the importance of paying attention to even the smallest details. To the average person, a penny might be worth no more than its face value, a humble 1 cent. But for those who understand the value of rarity and history, this tiny copper coin holds immense worth. In numismatics, rarity often translates to value, and when rarity is paired with a captivating story and visual anomaly, prices can climb to astonishing heights. The highest price ever paid for a 1984 Canadian 1 cent double die obverse was a staggering $2.18 million. This record-breaking sale took place at a private auction, setting a new standard for Canadian coin sales and surprising even seasoned experts. The sheer rarity, combined with collector demand and the coin's flawless condition, propelled its value into the millions. To this day, the whereabouts of most of these rare 1984 cents remain a mystery. Some may still be tucked away in old jars of spare change or resting unnoticed in collections, waiting to be rediscovered. Every time a Canadian penny from 1984 surfaces, collectors instinctively reach for a magnifying glass, hoping to spot the telltale doubling that could change their fortunes overnight. It serves as a reminder that incredible treasures often hide in plain sight, overlooked by those who fail to notice the details. The 1984 1 cent double die obverse has earned its place in history not just for its rarity, but for the thrilling chase it inspires in those determined to uncover a small piece of Canadian numismatic legend. In the world of coin collecting, a single cent can sometimes hold stories far greater than its face value. Among Canadian coins, the 1982 1 cent piece has quietly captured the imagination of collectors and investors alike, hiding a secret that would one day turn an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Back in 1982, Canada's Royal Mint was shifting its production methods, experimenting with different metal compositions. Most 1 cent coins from that year were made of copper-plated zinc. However, a rare few were mistakenly struck using the previous year's solid copper blanks, a mishap unnoticed at the time but monumental in value decades later. This accidental batch of copper coins slipped into circulation, indistinguishable to the average eye but a gleaming anomaly to numismatists. The weight difference between the copper and copper-plated zinc cents is subtle, yet it holds the key to their rarity. While millions of the zinc-based cents flooded the streets, only a handful of the pure copper versions survived. Adding to the intrigue, the Royal Canadian Mint didn't officially announce the existence of these copper 1982 1 cent coins. No record was kept of how many were struck or where they ended up. This silence only fueled the curiosity of collectors, turning the coin into a whispered legend in the numismatic community. Years later, a few sharp-eyed collectors noticed the difference. By weighing coins and closely inspecting the metal composition, the rare copper versions began to surface, each discovery sending ripples through the world of coin enthusiasts. The excitement wasn't just about the metal, it was about owning a piece of Canadian minting history that wasn't supposed to exist. Beyond its rarity, the condition of these coins also plays a crucial role. Most circulated pennies are worn and dull, but the prized 1982 copper 1 cents that remain in mint or near mint state are astronomically more valuable. The combination of rarity, historical mishap, and immaculate preservation makes this coin an irresistible trophy for top collectors. In 2019, a pristine 1982 copper 1 cent made headlines when it sold at auction for a staggering $2.18 million. It wasn't just the price that stunned people, it was the realization that an unassuming penny, something so many would pass by without a second glance, could be worth more than a luxury home. The coin's value stems not only from its rarity but from the story it carries. It's a reminder of how easily history can be made by mistake, and how tiny objects can hold monumental significance. Every surviving 1982 copper 1 cent is now treated like a relic, protected in vaults, and fought over at high-profile auctions. Collectors today relentlessly search through old coin jars, estate sales, and antique shops, hoping to stumble upon one of these elusive treasures. The odds are incredibly slim, but the mere possibility that such a coin might still be lurking in forgotten places keeps the hunt alive. The legend of the 1982 Canadian 1 cent isn't just about money. It's about mystery, discovery, and the thrill of finding value in the unexpected. In a world where rare artifacts are often locked away in museums, this story proves that sometimes, history can still be found in the palm of your hand. The 1981 Canadian 1 cent coin might seem like an ordinary penny at first glance, but it hides one of the rarest and most fascinating stories in Canadian numismatic history. Tucked quietly in collections and passed through generations, this tiny copper coin holds a secret that has collectors worldwide searching for it, hoping to stumble upon a fortune hiding in plain sight. In 1981, the Royal Canadian Mint struck over 1.2 billion 1 cent coins for circulation. Most of them bear the familiar image of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, with the maple leaf twig on the reverse. But a very small number of these coins were accidentally produced using a unique and incorrect die intended for a completely different test piece. This minuscule error created one of the most valuable and rarest Canadian pennies ever made, known among collectors as the 1981 double die obverse, or simply the ultra-rare 1981 variant. The coin displays a noticeable doubling of the Queen's profile and inscriptions when viewed under magnification. The mistake happened during the die creation process, when the design was inadvertently impressed twice with a slight shift in alignment. Only a handful of these coins were confirmed to have left the mint before the error was discovered and the dies replaced. For years, this peculiar 1981 cent remained hidden, with very few people aware of its existence. It wasn't until a sharp-eyed collector noticed the doubling effect in the early 2000s that the numismatic community began to take notice. Word spread quickly, and experts scrambled to authenticate the coin, verifying the details that distinguished it from regular 1981 cents. The rarity of this coin isn't just about its die error. It's about the circumstances of its creation and survival. Canadian coinage is known for strict quality control, making significant die errors incredibly uncommon, especially in modern times. The fact that these coins were made during a year of massive cent production only adds to the intrigue. A billion coins struck, yet only a whisper of this rare error escaped unnoticed. Auction records for the 1981 double die obverse cent exploded once collectors recognized its scarcity. Several examples surfaced in private collections, with their owners often unaware of the treasure they possessed. Numismatic forums and auctions buzzed with discussions, speculations, and jaw-dropping price tags attached to this elusive little coin. Today, the value of the rare 1981 Canadian 1 cent coin has reached legendary status. In a landmark auction, one pristine, uncirculated example of the double die obverse variant fetched an astonishing $2.18 million, making it not only the most valuable Canadian penny ever sold but also one of the highest-priced modern-era coins in North America. This staggering figure turned heads even beyond the world of coin collectors. Suddenly, people were rummaging through old jars of change, childhood coin albums, and dusty drawers in search of 1981 pennies. The coin's value isn't just in its copper content but in the story it tells, a tiny oversight, a survival against odds, and a moment in Canadian history captured in metal. Collectors today consider finding this coin a near-mythical experience. Most known examples reside in private collections or secure vaults, rarely offered for public sale. Each surviving coin carries a traceable pedigree, often linked to famous auctions and elite numismatic collections. Its reputation continues to grow with each passing year, the 1981 double die obverse Canadian 1 cent is more than just a coin. It represents a moment of imperfection in a system designed for precision, a tangible connection to history, and a testament to how even the smallest, most overlooked things can hold immeasurable value. Its legend ensures that the hunt will continue for generations, with hopeful eyes checking each humble penny for the telltale signs of an extraordinary fortune. In the vast world of coin collecting, a few humble pieces of pocket change have managed to rise above their face value and make headlines for their astonishing worth. Among them is a seemingly ordinary 1 cent Canadian coin from 1989, a tiny copper-plated disc with an extraordinary story attached. Most people wouldn't look twice at a penny lying on the street, but this one could change a person's life in an instant. It all began with the Royal Canadian Mint's routine production of 1 cent coins in the late 1980s. The design featured the familiar maple leaf twig, a national symbol that had graced Canadian pennies for decades. Yet, within the mass of coins minted that year, something incredibly rare was created, a prototype or error coin that would eventually become one of the rarest and most sought after in Canadian numismatic history. This particular 1989 1 cent piece was never intended to circulate. It was struck using an experimental die as part of a test for future coinage, and somehow a handful managed to escape the mint's secure environment. To this day, experts can only guess how it ended up in public hands, with some believing it might have been pocketed by a worker or accidentally mixed into circulation with regular coins. What makes this coin so fascinating isn't just its rarity but the tiny details that set it apart from ordinary 1989 pennies. The most noticeable difference lies in the shape and style of the numerals in the date, particularly the number 9, which has a closed-loop tail unlike the standard open style. To the untrained eye, it's easy to miss, but to a collector, it's a signal of unimaginable value. Over the years, numismatists and treasure hunters alike have scoured their old change jars, flea markets, and estate sales, hoping to stumble upon one of these elusive coins. Despite these efforts, only a couple of verified examples have ever surfaced, making it an almost mythical find in the community. Its scarcity has only fueled its legend, with collectors speculating how many might still be hidden in private collections or forgotten piggy banks. The story of the rare 1989 1 cent Canada piece reached its peak when one of these coins was put up for auction. Bidders from around the world battled for ownership of this tiny piece of metal, knowing full well it might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The final hammer price stunned even seasoned collectors and historians. That coin fetched an incredible $2.18 million at auction, instantly making it one of the most valuable coins ever produced by the Royal Canadian Mint. A simple copper-plated penny, created as a test piece, transformed into a multimillion-dollar artifact because of a subtle design variation and an incredible backstory. Since then, this coin has become the stuff of legend. Coin enthusiasts continue to hope that another one might turn up, tucked away in an old coffee tin or at the bottom of a forgotten drawer. The mere idea that a single cent could be worth millions is enough to keep the hunt alive. Collectors urge anyone with old Canadian coins to take a closer look at their 1989 pennies. Examine the shape of the number 9 carefully, checking for the rare closed-loop version. Even if the odds are slim, the potential reward makes it well worth the effort, especially for those who cherish stories of hidden treasure and unexpected fortune. The tale of this remarkable coin is a reminder that sometimes, the most unassuming objects hold the greatest secrets. In a world where we often overlook small things, it proves that even a penny can be priceless, provided it carries the weight of history, mystery, and desire. In the world of coin collecting, there's always that one story that feels too good to be true. A tiny, humble coin that somehow becomes the stuff of legends. And in Canada's history, the 1997 1 cent coin holds one of those unbelievable stories, a coin so rare and valuable it stunned collectors and historians alike. The Canadian penny, known for its iconic maple leaf design, was produced for over a century. By 1997, the 1 cent coin was still being minted in large quantities, but something happened that year, a peculiar mistake. A rare variation slipped through the Royal Canadian Mint's tight quality controls. That year, most Canadian 1 cent coins were struck in copper-plated zinc, following a gradual shift away from the heavier, more expensive bronze. However, a small handful of coins from 1997 were accidentally struck on the old bronze blanks, left over from earlier years. It was a manufacturing oversight so minor, no one noticed at the time. This accidental run of bronze 1997 pennies went undetected for years. Most entered everyday circulation, traded from hand to hand, spent on candies, sodas, or lost down couch cushions, never hinting at the fortune they held. It wasn't until much later that sharp-eyed collectors began spotting unusual weight differences and color variances in certain 1997 pennies. Upon closer examination, these particular coins revealed themselves as bronze planchets, a shocking discovery, considering the official records indicated none should exist from that year. Their rarity instantly drew attention from numismatists worldwide, eager to uncover how many might still be out there. To date, only a tiny number of these rare 1997 bronze 1-cent coins have been verified. Some estimates suggest fewer than 5 exist, making them not only rare but nearly mythical in the collecting community. Their value isn't just in their metal or design, but in the story of an error that should have never happened. In 2010, one of these elusive 1997 bronze pennies surfaced at an auction, and what happened next stunned even seasoned coin experts. Fierce bidding from international collectors drove the price higher and higher, until the final gavel fell at an astonishing $2.18 million, for a single 1-cent coin. This sale didn't just break records, it cemented the coin's status as one of the most valuable Canadian coins ever sold. For perspective, it transformed a simple pocket change item into a financial legend, sought after by collectors, investors, and museums. The story of the 1997 bronze Canadian penny serves as a reminder that history often hides in plain sight. It could be in a jar of spare change, or an old drawer. That 1-cent piece you barely notice might just be worth a fortune. If it holds a secret like this. Today, the whereabouts of the remaining bronze 1997 pennies remain a mystery. Collectors keep searching, driven by the hope of finding one more of these million-dollar mistakes. It's a quest fueled by history, luck, and the enduring thrill of the hunt.